Greetings and welcome to another episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am Kozmic Kev, your host, and this is for the weekend beginning the 16th of June 2018. So, what happens this week? Well, one of the things is we have the summer solstice. So Venus and Mars are in opposition, and that can be a very powerful for amour and really distinguish, male and female issues. And then, of course, we have the retrograde. Jupiter in Scorpio, Saturn in Capricorn, also retrograde. So, and then Uranus and Taurus, Neptune and Pisces. And Neptune goes retrograde this week, too. Yep. Neptune is going to go retrograde on Monday at 4:27 p.m. So what can we say about Neptune retrograde? Well, one thing is about Neptune is it rules spirituality and in some ways mass movements and how groups identify with themselves and deal with things. And so with Neptune retrograde, it's going to slow down that whole spiritual processing and make it something that's got to go within. And really the way out is in. If you meditate, you can transform, you think good thoughts, you can transform the way you look at the world, and the world gets to be a better place. So, and with that said, let's just go ahead and go sign by sign and do this whole zodiac dance here. Beginning with our friend Aries. So, greetings Aries, welcome to your horoscope. So we'll say Mars in the 11th house, real drive to socialize. Venus in the 5th house, a real drive to be creative, a real drive to love more, and to expand your love, expand your heart. If you have a daughter, you're probably more interested in what's going on in their life right now. So Jupiter in the 8th house, you're intuitive, and other people give you stuff, and you're good at yard sales and ways of making money in the underground economy. So those are things to look at, those are things to express and enjoy, and there's a certain amount of poetry because of the sun being in Gemini. There's a focus also on neighbors and siblings and working with your hands. And you're trying to get inspiration even from your family, although they might just shock you with what they have to offer. And I imagine this weekend, Moon will be in Leo most of it, so it'll be in your 5th house. It'll be fun. You're going to have fun this weekend. Fun is good. Okay. Greetings Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, you got Uranus in the 1st house. So, if you're a Taurus born in April, especially like April 20th through about the 25th, you people are feeling like life is much more uncertain and you're trying to adjust to whatever sudden shocks or inspiration is in your life. Now, as far as your love life goes, it could be getting better all the time. In fact, any relationships, relationship house, 7th house, house of marriage, it could be better than it usually is, Just don't get your friends to weed your garden for you, or otherwise people go crazy. The other thing is to look at what your home life is like too. Like you're desiring to do home improvement, make things a little bit better, nicer this weekend. It's going to be perfect for that. And with the sun in your 2nd house, there's a focus on voice, there's a focus on family, there's a focus on money, there's a focus with things that affect your neck and your throat. So that's a lot of stuff. But with Pluto and Saturn in the 9th house, it's like having deeper truth, harder lessons, and but worthwhile lessons. There's good fortune in doing the hard work. Okay. Greetings Gemini, welcome to your horoscope. Well, happy birthday if you're a Gemini having a birthday this week. This is the last week of Gemini. After Wednesday night, it's all over, folks. And in this duality, in this place, in this latter part of Gemini, it's largely about exploration and curiosity and how you develop your curious mind. I think of Mercury and the Moon today being in the second house. Good day for singing. Good day for voice. Might be a day where you have to work on family things. The weekend seems great for friends or reuniting with siblings, doing some writing, doing some work with your hands. Going to go very well. Jupiter in the 6th house. It's also a period where you can work on improving your health. And health is our only real wealth. And then with Pluto and Saturn in the 8th house, it's like there's some hard realities that you're dealing with. It may have to do with your alliances with other people, but there's still hard realities, and you got to do them. And you're excited about stuff, moving forward, and you're excited about your spiritual vision, and there's some like intuitive karma to deal with. There's a little bit of a rebel that wants to rebel from the way things are and to create them into something new. Okay. Greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. So this is the last week of 12th house transit of that unconscious dark place that you don't really understand necessarily everything that's happening, but you're open to understanding more. And but like, hey, you get the sense of renewal, today and even yesterday, where it's like, wow, there's some hope. I have friends. I can do good things. I can make it happen, and that's part of the game plan. Making things happen in a big way. And so, I mean, you could go ahead and do that. And the other thing is you're going to be renewed by Thursday morning. You're going to wake up feeling great. It's like, hey, it's Cancer time. It's my time. Ha ha, holler, holler. And good fortune's coming to you. One of the great things about this year for you too, with Jupiter being in your 5th house, is there's more expansion in creativity. There's more expansion in the lives of your children, if you have children. There's more expansion in education, travel. A lot of good, happy stuff. Happy stuff that opens up your heart is coming your way. Could I make it any more? You could make money this weekend too. This could be a good money weekend. It could be a weekend where you're dealing with family. There's an element of impatience with Mars in the 8th house. There's an element of frustration with your partner, with Pluto and Saturn in the mix. It's like, okay, I'm dealing with this long-term hard stuff. And, and so it's just like, I'd go easy into it. But like in your spiritual life, you're good there. You're welcoming higher spiritual knowledge, and it could be useful to others and to help others. And you like to help others, especially if they're like family or friends to you. And you're more intelligent than usual with Mercury in your 1st house. So you've got ideas. You're an ideas person right now. Okay, greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. So what happens here is we're moving out of the 11th house, which has been so social. So this is kind of like your last real social weekend, and I could see it being really big on Saturday and Sunday with Moon and Leo. So you get to roar with the best of them. But, after the 17th, it's more like taking care of business and making money, making things happen for yourself. And then the Sun goes into Cancer on Thursday. And so that means Sun's in your 12th house. And that means really basically for the next 4.5 weeks, you really got to watch your blind spot and be aware of things you do that are unconscious that could get you in trouble. And so that's not always the most fun subject to talk about. But it's okay. It's good to have the foreknowledge before you go through that situation. So I think keeping a dream journal, paying attention to your imagination, paying off debts, making peace with old karma, super important. I think with Mars in your 7th house, it's like there's an possibility of open enemies, people confronting you with stuff. Some of you are not that good at confrontations. I mean, most of you are Vedic Cancers for whatever that means for you. But I know that there's an inability, there's a timidity. I know you're supposed to be Leo and Lion and all courageous and all that stuff, but ain't always like that. Good confrontations, you just identify the problem and not the person, and offer opportunities to make things better in a way that's beneficial for all parties. I know it sounds easier than it actually is in practice, but we're practicing. And you got Venus in the 1st house, so you got all this love, people are attracted to you, you look good, and you're hungry for more. With that North Node there's a hunger. With the North Node, there's always a hunger. And that won't be haunting you forever. I think, things are going to change by the time we get to this coming winter, but it's just always awareness. Be aware. Okay, greetings Virgo, and welcome to your horoscope. So, well, in Virgo land, we went from showing our talents and skills, showing ourselves to be responsible, showing ourselves to be in tune with what's going on, that other people can see it, other people will notice, and this can help you move forward. And it's not always easy to move forward, because a lot of moving forward seems to require some of looking back. This is where we were. Okay, this is where we're going. But where you're going is your social life, and this could be a heady social Friday night for you, because it's like a social thing for Virgo. And the weekend, it's kind of like maybe more lay low or write in your dream journal. Really notice the people that show up this weekend, because these are probably people you have karma with. So I'll call it the karma weekend for Virgo rising, maybe even Virgo moons. So look at that, look at your karma, be aware of it. Mars in the 6th house gives you energy. It gives you energy to work harder, gives you energy to get in shape physically. Everybody could use some of that. And in the 7th house with Neptune, even Neptune going retrograde, you're looking at a spiritual relationship. You're like, I desire a spiritual marriage. I'm not going to get in a marriage with somebody unless they have higher spiritual aspirations. And I don't know, some people have never been married. And then there's people like me that have done it too many times. Well, there were different reasons each time. Oh boy. Well, it's it's all in the learning, and as human beings, we all we take our lumps in some way or another. There's an expansion in your own creative ability to work with your hands, to maybe write songs or write stories. It's something worth looking at. And even with the hard stuff of transformation and dealing with long-term goals, they're softened by the 5th house. They're in a place where it's like, hey, I'm working on the hard things in my heart. I want to be more functional. I want to be happy. When you're happy, you're not complaining. And then you're not that critical Virgo nobody wants to hang out with, because you're the happy Virgo that's serving others and serving themselves and doing practical, freeing things that we all love. And, and you're going to meet more friends as the weeks go on. And eventually Venus is going to go into your 1st house in a couple more weeks. And then, then the love vibe goes, woo! The love meter starts cranking up, and you'd be surprised all the good stuff you're going to experience. I'm kind of excited and sort of happy for you. I mean, I sort of feel bad for those who are missing out on you. Yeah, because there's always that, miss out factor that nobody wants to miss out. You know, everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to be in love. You know. So I'm looking forward to sharing that love with you. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, Cancer time is going to, we're moving from this place where you're traveling, maybe getting an education or benefiting others with your spiritual knowledge and your quest for higher intellect, and now you're getting into position, to be more executive, to be a leader, to get the better job that you've needed all along. So this is happening. This is a good thing for you. And so your talents and skills are seen, especially today. You're looking very talented. And the weekend looks like party on, like you're going to socialize a lot, you're going to have fun. I mean, come on, Leo moon, even in Western, it's a party. And when it's transiting your 11th house, it's a real party. And so you're going to have some real party time. You're also going to, make some more money possibly with Jupiter in the 2nd house. But it also could be a time when your family's expanding, or you're trying to find a voice to say positive spiritual things that keep yourself and other people lifted. Your home life is going through some kinds of ups and downs and changes. And I think like physical activity, swimming, dancing, that's hiking, that's the fun stuff. That's where you should put your energy. Well, hello Scorpio, and welcome to your horoscope. Moving on. It's not about how many friends you have or how many likes you get on Facebook. It is about showing up for yourself. When you've gone through a lot of transformation, you've gone through things that you don't really have power over. That's a lot of the themes of the 8th house. And you're about to be put in power because your good luck charm, the 9th house, is where the sun's moving. And Mars in the 4th house, there's this urge, there's this restlessness, like, oh, I want to move, or I need to help my parents, I'm curious about them and my ancestors. So that's kind of a long-term thing with Mars there. And then we've got Pluto and Saturn in the 3rd house, so it's like, how can I communicate more effectively in ways where people will take me seriously and respect what I have to say, so that I can get the benefit of my own authority. Now, in this weekend is like a really good weekend to show your talents and skills, because when you're out there in the public and you show that you know how to play accordion, or blow up balloons and make animals out of them, or you do a really killer break dance where the robot moves, everybody's going to love it, and you're going to attract a crowd, and you're having more fun with your spiritual life. That's where your heart is at right now. On the relationship scene, it's gotten kind of weird, and for Scorpio, so we call this Uranus in the 7th house, could be the hazards of polyamory. Well, I love more than one person. God, my gosh, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm curious about the sexual nature of others and figure I should give them a chance. Or like I'm kind of scared of them. I don't want to give this one a chance because they might go psycho on me, and I don't need any more psychodramas. But love what you do what you love, and keep on with that vibe. Okay. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, what we see here is a need to go from just our love relationship as it simply is, to more focus on our partner and what is happening with them, and also riches that are other people's that they're loaning us. And sometimes we have to get into debt when we go into a transit like this. It's not something I enjoy, but there's some value in it. When somebody loans you something and you're able to do something really good with it, it can actually turn around and bring more wealth in your life, and I think that's what you want. And sometimes just sitting back in fear and stagnating isn't like the best answer to success, although it feels so comfortable in some ways and familiar. It's hard not to do sometimes, but you're kind of a rambler and a gambler and a risk taker, and more than half of you are Vedic Scorpios anyhow, so I think you're ready to move it. I also think you should check out your vehicle, since you do like to travel a lot. Make sure there's no problems there, because that could inhibit some of your flow. And just cleaning your house and making it kind of like a sanctuary zone. Minimalism, it could work for you. It could make it a higher aesthetic, and you got to attune yourself to health issues. And this weekend looks like super fun. It'd be like a great weekend for you to travel or get away. Go to parties, especially if anything has a spiritual or uplifting theme. That would be great. I saw the spiritual uplifting movie about Pope Francis, and okay, some people probably call it a propaganda piece, but the man nails it. He pretty much nails every major issue affecting people, and he overcomes it with humility and love. When I see this guy washing prisoners' feet, inmates' feet, and saying, hey, you know what? A lot of you do things because you know that the world's in a wrong place, and you're just acting out in accordance with that. And, I just want to welcome you back. The first apostle was a prisoner, and, he just brings it to him. And I was so moved to tears by this kind of compassion. I'm like, yeah, the world needs more people like that, and we need to move ourselves into that kind of alignment, that kind of thinking. So that's a really good thing. And so I'm going to say greetings, Capricorn. And just as I did that, this wonderful, beautiful Capricorn person sent me a lovely message. I was like, oh my gosh, everything's in such great synchronicity. Maybe this is why, this might have happened because I saw the Hugging Guru Mama this weekend. It's just like everybody's like all blissed out, and she gave us this blessed water. Capricorn, you could use some blessed water. I think, your water gut, it could help. It certainly couldn't hurt. You get a lot of insights. You're showing a lot of maturity. You're showing a lot of substance. You're ready to go through some big transformation right now. And it's a great time to call on the resources of friends in your social life. And it's also a time where, you might have some tools you no longer need. You could sell them and cash in on them, so you can get better tools that'll make you even more money. And I think it's like, don't get too down on yourself or get overwhelmed by aesthetics. Just keep working towards what's inspiring you, because you might be surprised at things that inspire you in your heart. They're big, and you're wanting a deeper kind of love, a more spiritual kind of life. You're hoping to clear yourself out of debt. And you instinctually know what to do right now. There's this instinct you have that's really wise. Follow that gut instinct and make it happen. Well, hello Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope. So, taking risk and moving forward. That's really what life is all about, isn't it? So Gemini time's been fun. It's been heart-opening. And it's helped you with your children, and it's helped you with education, and it's helped you in travel, and it's giving you more ideas of how to have fun and how to be in touch with your heart, and more love is coming your way. You've got Venus in the 7th house, so you could be like last of the red hot lovers, and North Node's there too, and so you can get yourself in some kind of tricky situations. But you're also in this place where you're able to improve your health a little bit maybe this weekend, and working on health issues with improvement in mind, helping other people, giving some kind of service. It's going to pay off, it's going to pay back. And your best talents and skills are being seen this year. They're being shown. They're being highlighted. And you're having a lot of fun with that. And you also just have to look at the old karma. I thought one of the best things that Alma said this weekend is, you know, our past karma, our past deeds are a canceled check. There's nothing we can do about it. What we can do is be in the present and work on making things better, because every moment you have a chance to make someone feel better. And a lot of times our wanting to make somebody feel worse is a reflection of ourselves, how we feel about ourselves and our inability to get going. And it makes sense, you know. So help others. Don't think that you're poor, even if you are, because there's resources all around you. And you can uplift somebody else with those resources. And in that way, you will be making good karma, and a flow of goodness will come into you after that. All right. Well, greetings, Pisces. This is it. Wind up in the pitch. I mean, Gemini time is all about finding a place of your roots, the root of your happiness, the root of the relationship you have with your mother and your parents and your ancestors. And we're moving to this place where we're going to have fun with our children, and we're going to discover more ways to be happy within ourselves. And part of that happiness is going to come through serving others, for sure. But part of that happiness is going to go through discovery and education and enjoying intelligent learnings that put our mind at ease and put it in the right place. And like, this would be a good weekend to do charity work. This would be a good weekend to fix things, to work at, you know, a restaurant or a service-oriented job where you're in a team and you're helping other people. All of that will go great. Yeah, sure, there's subconscious aggression. You know, a lot of times there's things in our mind we don't feel quite right about. And I think it's good to identify it. And in order to work through it is to acknowledge it. And then say, oh, is it really that important that that person is that angry or I am? No. And so we pray for our enemies that they're happy. Because if our enemies are happy, they have no time to bother us. They have no time to have their minds focused on anything that bothers them if they're happy. If you think Trump's the enemy, you should pray for his happiness. You know? If you think Iran's the enemy, you should pray for their happiness. You know? Or, you know, I mean, if that's the angry dog that barks incessantly across the street is your enemy, then you should pray for that dog's happiness. That is how we work it. That's how we get beyond all of this stuff. And, you know, even with social life, our friends, exploration and taking risk is good for you, Pisces. It's going to give you the answers to what you need. Everything's going to get better because you're here and you love yourself.